Enterprises. Select your topic. Miscellaneous.
How's it going, everybody? Ragiroth Enterprises here. I'm joined today with my friend James.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
He's been on a couple of my videos before. So I guess another new game that was just recently announced, same day as Mortal Kombat 11, funnily enough, that is probably going to pop up on my channel here and there is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
It's about time.
Yeah, seriously. Like we love the Ultimate Alliance games. We love X-Men Legends. Had a lot of fun playing them back in the day. I mean, I don't know why I said back in the day. Like, it wasn't that long ago.
In high school, early college.
It felt like a long time ago. And one of the biggest shocks is we're getting a new one for the Switch exclusively, believe it or not. So, of course, with these games, we always want to talk about what characters we like in the game. So, typically, I do a top 10 list. This is a bit different. Basically, we picked 10 characters, not really necessarily in order, that we kind of agree on that we would both like, 10 characters we both like in the game in general. And then there's a couple that we both really want, but just don't feel as passionate about.
So we'll just put those on at the end.
Yeah, they'll be like my picks and then James's picks as well. So we're just kind of go list them out and kind of tell us, why we like them, why they should be in the game, blah, 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 all that good stuff. So we'll start with the first one.
Number 1.
Guy on my shirt, Venom.
Obviously.
This one should not be a shock at all. I mean, just, whenever we talk about Marvel stuff on me or Mark Yoon's channel, we love the symbiotes. Venom is one of my favorite comic characters ever. He was in both Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2, even though I know 2 is kind of Matt Gargan.
And 1 was DLC.
Yeah.
But the point is Venom's always just been in there in some form.
Yeah, and Venom has had, I guess, some issues getting the games recently because he's Marvel owned, but he's not MCU, and they don't want to push things that are MCU. But now he's at his own big movie, and he was DLC in Marvel's Capcom Infinite. So now I think it's time, he kind of shows himself in games from the get-go again. He's got his own comic run, so I don't want to hear it this time.
And plus with the X-Men back, I mean it should be a sign.
Exactly. I know X-Men are they are going to be flat out MCU, and Venom's still in that weird middle ground, but even still
I think they can find a compromise with the games at least.
Yeah, I think there's a little more room to push him now. And the other thing is Marvel's Capcom Infinite, that's not just a Marvel game. They kind of had to split the roster with Marvel and Capcom. This is all Marvel game. This is all Marvel characters, so it's there's way less of an excuse for it this time.
Plus, since apparently at least part of the game's going to be in outer space, it makes sense to have the symbiotes involved.
Yeah, they did come from space.
Especially since the last game we learned about their home planet. We learned their true name, although I can't remember the true alien race that's the symbiotes for the moment.
Clintar?
That's it, Clintar. Yeah. Yeah, I feel it's a perfect chance to introduce some more aspects of the symbiotes now. And
I loved playing. I mean, I like playing this in both games. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1, he was my best character. He was so fun to play as. 2, he was alright too, but that game also had Carnage, so he was, for me at least, he was kind of overshadowed.
Yeah.
Alright, so I think now it's time to move on to our next pick. And
number 2.
Ghost Rider.
This one was also obvious from us from the get-go.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost Rider's basically my favorite Marvel hero. And he was another character. He was in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1, but he was sadly missing in 2.
But he was back in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Yeah, he was in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Infinite. So he's had a fairly consistent track record, and he's in a lot of the mobile games, and it doesn't take that long to be added. Yeah. And I mean, Ghost Rider's awesome. He's not limited by. I mean, I know he's not he is technically in the MCU.
Yep, as the Robbie Reyes had a season on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and the implication is it was Johnny Blaze in that one episode.
Yeah, it literally looked just like Johnny Blaze from even the Ghost Rider movie.
Yep. So I think it's a safe bet, and hey, Robbie could be an alternate costume.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I would prefer if it was Johnny Blaze or Daniel Ketch, but I mean, if the compromise was if for Ghost Rider to be on the base roster, it had to be Robbie Reyes, I would take it. I would be fine with that. But yeah, I guess do you have anything more to add with Ghost Rider?
In the comics, Robbie Reyes is a member of the Avengers right now, so I don't know. But, yeah.
Either way, he's a different side of Marvel to represent that's pretty popular and well known. And I mean, again, I loved playing as a Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 as well. We completely forgot to say this. A couple characters are disqualified from the list. They are Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and
Deadpool,
because
I feel they're just too obvious to be left out.
Yeah, it's not that we don't like them, we just think they're too obvious.
Yep. Captain Marvel, back when she was Miss Marvel, she was in both games. Deadpool was in both games. Black Panther was in both games, though second one he was DLC. But even before that, he was in the story of the second game, at least.
Not to mention, all three of those characters, especially Captain Marvel and Black Panther, are like, they're in the MCU. Like, Black Panther had a huge hit movie.
Captain Marvel's coming out soon.
Yeah, there's too many reasons for them not to. And, Deadpool is a shoo-in as well. I'd probably argue slightly less just because he's still in that weird, lingo, but we have Wolverine and Scarlet Witch. He's fine.
Yeah. And one last thing about Ghost Rider, an idea for an alternate costume. The Cosmic Ghost Rider outfit.
Ooh. I also would like Ghost Rider 2099. I love that outfit in Ultimate Marvel Capcom 3. All right, so now finally moving on to our third pick. This is a slightly more obscure one to some of you people, but it is none other than Songbird.
I think both Rich and I first really got introduced to her in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. And then about a year or so ago, I read some of the original Thunderbolts run with her in it. And she just seems like a real fun character to use. Unique power set, unique design. I definitely like her back.
Yeah, as soon as I saw her in Ultimate Alliance 2, I'm like, whoa, who the hell is she? She looks really cool. And I'm still mad she never got in a fighting game, because I think she would be great in a fighting game, because I know she has her powers and stuff, but apparently I think she was a wrestler, right?
I think so, yeah.
At least one of the versions of her. So that's you got a grappler and a Black Canary, a flying Black Canary kind of character in one I guess slot. So everything about Songbird is really cool. I wish she would be in more things. She's an obscure character that it appears here and there that unfortunately we just haven't, I feel got introduced in the mainstream, I think. And I would love for her her to make another debut in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, even if it doesn't mean she's going to appear in much else.
Moving on to number 4.
All right, number 4 is another mutant. Now, Cable's another one of our favorite X-Men. He was in Ultimate Alliance 2?
He was in
that one, right?
Yeah, he was DLC and, in the story in Ultimate Alliance 2.
Was he playable in X-Men Legends?
Only the X-Men Legends 2 in the PSP version.
That's messed up. I know Bishop was playable in X-Men Legends 2, and I know they kind of have similar power sets. They're both in the future. But no, Cable's awesome. He's one of my favorite mutants.
Loved him in the Deadpool game.
Oh yeah. And speaking of that, he's now in a movie, and he was awesome in it. He's played by Josh Brolin, the same person that plays Thanos. He's one of the characters most associated with Deadpool. He's basically the straight man to Deadpool's wackiness. And I love his power set. He's probably one of my favorite, I guess, heavy weapons users in the Marvel universe. Especially because he has more futuristic tech as opposed to someone I guess Winter Soldier or Black Widow is usually just more or Punisher that is typical
But yeah, Cable would definitely be a nice addition. He could be a great way to add time travel to the mix as well as with space.
That is true.
Because if they the Black War's involved, they're going to use the Infinity Stones. So imagine the time stones in the future. They need a ride. Cable had enough members they could do an X-Force team thing.
I like that.
Wolverine and Deadpool and a couple of other entries on our list.
Also, remember how I think in the Ultimate Alliance games, if you teamed up certain members, and especially in certain outfits, you get certain bonuses. Mm-hmm. That'd be another thing you could do with him, Deadpool, Wolverine, especially if they're wearing X-Force outfits.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so moving on to what are we on, number 5?
Number 5, Ultron.
Ultron, he was another character that, actually, funnily enough, I think, Ultimate Alliance introduced me to so many Marvel characters. I think Ultron was actually introduced me in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1.
Yeah, actually, I didn't But aside from Doctor Doom and maybe Loki and the Enchantress, none of the other villains really spoke out to me too much, but thinking back on it years later, Ultron was one of the head honchos of the Masters of Evil in that game.
But Ultron has become way more prevalent since he was the villain in Avengers 2. And I absolutely loved him in that. He was awesome, and he has become, I don't want to say one of my favorite Marvel villains, but he's definitely, again, up there now, much more higher than he used to be. And
one of your favorite Avengers villains?
Yeah, I would say that. I absolutely loved how he was in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. He was really cool to play as. I mean, I don't know how, again, this is a totally different kind of game. I don't know how similar to be to that, but even so, I really like his power set and his design. He could have his kind of classic look, and he could have his, I guess maybe his movie look, and it would be really cool. I doubt they would do it, but if they could have a Ultron Sigma outfit, I know they probably wouldn't do it, but that would be sick.
Although an outfit I'd pick would actually be his outfit when he was took over the Phalanx in Annihilation Conquest.
Was that his alternate outfit in Infinite? He did have a cool alternate outfit in Infinite.
I think
don't know what it was.
I forget what it was as well. I guess look up a picture later. He had 6 eyes. I remember that. So that
might have been the outfit because I think he did have more eyes.
Yeah,
but yeah, no. Ultron's awesome, and he's already in the game. We just don't know if he's playable. They said villains are gonna be playable, and we're assuming he is, but we don't know 100% for sure. So that's kind of why he's not totally disqualified in this. Villains are a little harder to predict.
Yep. And if not, they could do a villains DLC pack and have him in it.
Oh, of course. I'm sure there'll be DLC for the game. Mm-hmm. All right. So now moving on to number 6.
Number 6, Doctor Doom.
Now, Doctor Doom, he's not again, kind of like Ultron, he's not one of my favorites, but he is pretty awesome, and I also feel like games have been significantly missing him lately. I know because there's been a whole stupid Fox deal and all that.
But yeah, now with the deal, starting 2019, they're going to be able to merge him back in.
Yeah, so hopefully he won't be restricted with that, and not to mention, I loved playing as him. At least in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1. Now, I don't feel like I liked him as much in 2, but he was so cool to play as Ultimate Alliance 1. One of my favorite characters to use.
Was he into? He wasn't into.
Okay, never mind. I thought I might be getting him mixed up with Magneto, but yeah, no, he's really fun to play as, and he deserves it. He's one of the biggest Marvel villains. Again, not one of my top favorites, but I do like him, and he definitely deserves it. And, he always has a really cool moveset and everything he's in. Especially Ultimate Alliance.
The answer, the Fantastic Four we didn't see in the trailer, and while with the X-Men in there, it's a good chance the Fantastic Four could be in as well. They might take up too many spots, but don't get me wrong, I love the Fantastic Four. I'm happy they're finally back. But, if they need representation, Doctor Doom was always good representation for the Marvel vs. Capcom games.
You'd always just do the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 method and just have Super Scroll. I actually really like Super Scroll.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really think anything more to say Doctor Doom. He deserves to be in the game. He's a cool villain, and he's always fun to play as. Hopefully he's in. And moving on to number 7, it looks like.
Number 7.
Nova. Now Nova, it's funny enough, he was actually introduced to me from Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I never really heard of him before, but I'm like, oh, who's that guy? He looks pretty cool. So I got kind of into him, and he's a character that he's popping up more. He's never been playable in Ultimate Alliance, so I would like to see how the game handles him. I'd like to see, I guess, how he varies compared to, I guess, how he is in the Marvel vs. Capcom games. And I guess we probably prefer it be the Richard Rider version, I guess, probably.
Yeah, I mean, the only Richard Rider Nova series I read was, the 2008 one. It was pretty awesome, though. I definitely would recommend it. But yeah, he was a total powerhouse in that. He kicked ass. I definitely would love him in. And the Black Helmet Sam Alexander could be his alternate outfit.
Yeah, have Sam Alexander as an alternate outfit, I think. I mean, even if it is Sam, it's not terrible. It's better than no Nova, but yeah, we would prefer Dick Ryder. Yes, I call him Dick Ryder. I can't not do that when I'm talking about Nova. I mean, I love the guy, but I have to call him that.
It's there. It's like a rule with a joke.
Yeah.
And he's good with the Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics.
Oh,
so that's
yeah.
Something.
There we go. Yeah, they're already a huge part of the game. Okay, so now number 8.
Number 8.
Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier's popped up in some of, I think, my videos talking to Marvel's Capcom Infinite. I really wanted him to game, and he actually got in, of course, as DLC when the game was, basically kind of dead on arrival. But yeah. I was really happy he was in the game, and I really did like his moveset. But Winter Soldier is another character who actually, I think, was introduced to me via Ultimate Alliance.
Oh yeah, he was a villain early on.
Yeah, he was one of the early villains you fought, I remember. Obviously, Captain America 2, really made me like him. He's just a really badass character, and you know he's really popular and really I guess major in the mainstream right now. So he doesn't have anything that against him. I feel like the only thing with Winter Soldier is, you know, I guess his power set, or if you want to call it a power set, is, you know, you can really only have so many, I guess, gun users before they're all the same. Admittedly, I feel like in games like this, having characters that share some similarities isn't as big of a deal as a fighting game does. And obviously, you know, you do want to try to avoid it though. And you know, I don't really know. I think the only gun user I think we have, well, at least I guess Earth gun user is I think like Black Widow in the game so far. And he could be different. He could be different from Black Widow,
especially since Black Widow's more stealth and stuff. He's more like more hardcore artillery.
I would say,
like, give him a grenade launcher.
I would say Black Widow is more Jill Valentine. Winter Soldier is more like Chris Redfield or Leon Kennedy, if that makes any sense. But yeah, no, Winter Soldier is badass. He's awesome. I don't think I have to worry about him being in the game, but I don't want to fully call him a shoo-in. That's why he wasn't disqualified.
And plus, if they have alternate costumes, his could be his Captain America outfit.
Yeah, there you go.
And then that was a pretty badass outfit.
And he also is a character that, even though he was on Ultimate Alliance, he was never playable in it. So I would kind of like to see how they handle him as a playable character as well. Okay, so now for number 9, I know the point of this list was characters we agreed on, aside from the last two we each picked.
However, we both had felt very strongly about each of these characters, and they seemed very similar, so we kind of put it as a tie.
They're really similar, and they're basically from the same part of Marvel. So it's like, this is kind of one where, you know, this is kind of a shared slot, and it's none other than X-23
and Psylocke.
Basically, James is the one that was more passionate about X-23, and I was more passionate about Psylocke. If you see me talking about Marvel's Capcom Infinite, if there's any X-Men I want in the game, it is Psylocke. She is my favorite X-Men, and I'd really like to see her in more things again. And I don't dislike X-23. She's cool. She just wasn't, you know, making, I guess, my top 10, just like Psylocke wasn't making his top 10.
It's complicated because they both have awesome movesets. But I guess I just really liked X-23, especially after like reading her series and her all-new Wolverine series, which totally could be a costume, by the way. I just feel like both have an equal good chance to be in. They're both fairly popular with fans. Yeah,
they're both. They're both featured in recent movies. They're both fairly popular.
Both were in games recently. Psylocke was in Ultimate Alliance 2. X-23 was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, actually, it's weird because both those games are sort of far away. But yeah, no, they have been in games not that long ago. Yes, Psylocke we had in X-Men Legends 1 and DLC in X-Men Legends 2.
She was DLC. Oh, you mean Ultimate Alliance 2?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we wish she was in X-Men Legends 2.
Yeah, that really pissed me off. She was taken out of that. But an X-23 has never been playable in an Ultimate Alliance game. I think because those games came out kind of before she was really she was around. I think, but she was so new at the time.
Yeah, she was just really starting.
And I know oh, she was big on Wolverine, but no, you can make her different.
For one thing, Foot Claws.
Yeah, she'd probably be based more around kicks and stuff like that, and she'd probably be faster than Wolverine. But again, the character should be different, but I think you can get away with a little bit more of people sharing things in a game like this than a fighting game. And I know X-23 and Psylocke are similar. They're both female assassins, but Psylocke is more energy based, and she uses a bigger variety of weapons. While I think X-23 is just more kind of speed, rush down, using claws in your face kind of thing.
But I think we can both agree on one thing. They both be a hell of a lot of fun to play as.
Yeah, I even though I didn't main X-23 in Marvel's Capcom 3, I did using her from time to time.
Yeah. She was definitely one of my mains.
And I always used Psylocke in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, of course. Alright, so now the last one, number 10. We got another X-Men. I know there's a common theme with this list.
And X-23 is my second favorite X-Men. For number 10 is my favorite X-Men, Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, he actually, when I was still getting introduced to X-Men, I think he was my favorite X-Men. I still do really like him. He's just dropped a little bit, but no, Nightcrawler is awesome. He is another character that has not been in a lot of things recently. Again, because stupid Fox deal and blah blah blah. I think it would be really awesome to see him in the game again. I think the only issue he has, I mean, aside from not being an MCU character, which shouldn't matter as much now anyway, I think making him different from Deadpool. But I think it was Ultimate Alliance. At least one had him. I think Ultimate Alliance 1 had Deadpool and Nightcrawler, right?
Yeah, Nightcrawler was DLC.
So, he was DLC. I think first of all, Nightcrawler doesn't use guns. And I think Nightcrawler could be more about teleporting than Deadpool. And it's not as big of a deal, I feel like, now with Deadpool teleporting.
Yeah. I've looked at I don't regularly pick up Deadpool, but I have looked at it a lot, skim through issues. I haven't really seen him teleport much, unless you count the fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I feel like with Deadpool, obviously, he'd be using swords and guns and all that, but I think you could introduce some more wackier stuff in his moveset that Nightcrawler obviously wouldn't have anyway.
Yeah.
I also feel like Nightcrawler could probably use kicks and stuff more like that, just kind of teleporting and kicking you and stuff like that,
or attached with his tail.
Oh yeah, that too. So yeah, it would be great to see Nightcrawler again. He's been missing for a while, I feel like, and just be cool to play as him again.
Yeah. We definitely need a stronger X-Men roster for this game.
Yeah, definitely. I sort of tolerated it with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite because I understood the situation as much as it sucked, and I at least got Venom, and I got Jeddah and Black Panther and Winter Soldier. But I think now there's way less of an excuse this time.
Yeah. Not to mention, you can't deny that obviously hurt the game. I'd imagine in some way.
It did. It definitely did.
I mean, the franchise started with X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Now they just tore out one of the core aspects.
Yeah. So before the end of this video, we each picked two characters that we both individually really wanted, but the other person wasn't as keen on. Mm-hmm. So I'll start with my picks. They are Carnage. Again, another super obvious character. Carnage always pops up in my videos when I'm talking about Marvel. He's my favorite comic book villain ever. He was DLC in Ultimate Alliance 2. I don't know what his chances are this game would be. I want to say maybe he's a DLC character, probably not a base roster character as much as I would love it.
Yeah.
And then the second one is Moon Knight. Moon Knight is another character that actually, funnily enough, was introduced made from Ultimate Alliance. So I'm seeing a pattern here. He's a really awesome character that I barely get to see, and I actually was reading his recent comics, and they're pretty interesting, even though I wish they were a little more action-packed. So I feel like he might actually be a little more relevant now than he was back then. I could be wrong about that.
I'm still wondering why we're not getting a Moon Knight movie or TV show.
Yeah, that'd be really nice. I think he would be perfect for a Netflix show. I mean, I'd love a movie too, but I feel like the grittiness of his thing and stuff would kind of work more with a Netflix show. But anyway, I would love them both in the game. I don't know how likely they are. All right, and James, what are your two picks?
My first pick is the Vision. He seems pretty obvious that he's going to get in, but I'm just not 100% sure. And I just really, really love the character. His density changing could be an interesting moveset. And I've always just been a fan since I started reading the Avengers comics. He always just kicked so much ass. And for my second choice was Miss Marvel. She's come up in recent years to become very popular, and again, her powers could provide a very unique moveset. And I feel like it's important to promote some of the younger characters.
Yeah, I could maybe see her again in the game. And yeah, Vision, I'm pretty confident on. We know we've seen him. There is a shot of, I think, him being seen behind Wolverine or something. So we know he's in the game. We just don't know what his playability status is.
Yeah, the first game, he was just a non-playable character.
Yeah, but this was also back in the day when Vision was a lot more obscure. I think now she's way more well-known now, I'd say, and has a little more to work with.
Yeah, he's much more mainstream with the Avengers now.
Definitely. So yeah, that's about it for our list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you agree with any of these picks? Let me know or let us know what characters you want in the game that aren't, I guess, super obvious. Or, if they're super obvious, you can tell. You can tell it was I don't care.
If you want them in the game, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly. I guess, like the video if you like it, dislike if you dislike it. It's a free country. I would like to talk more about Ultimate Alliance 3 in the future. I mean, I feel like wish lists are kind of one of the only thing I can think about with this game, but as we get more details, more things I'm sure will pop up in my head, and I'm sure James here could maybe help jog some things we can talk about as well. And don't forget to check out my friend Mark Union in the description below. And as I always say, another time, another place. Keep being
awesome.